Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 133 based on novel. So let's start. In Huyang City, on the high floor of the city lord's mansion, Luo Feng was drinking alone. Nine Rivers Sacred World? Luo Feng murmured. This time, a gathering between Flame Wind Ancestor, Emperor Qing, and Luo Feng told a lot of information. As long as one reached the ultimate realm, life form could leave the origin continent through one of the transmission channels within the origin continent, and would generally travel to a random destination, unless the exact coordinates were determined at the time of teleportation. The world where Emperor Qing was located was called the Nine Rivers Sacred World, where many experts from origin worlds and billions of worlds gather. Emperor Qing is in the Nine Rivers Sacred World. The weakest one who is qualified to come here has an ultimate realm life form. The highest one can reach the half-chaotic origin level. The threshold for the Flame Wind Ancestor to enter the Darkness Sacred World is extremely high. The Flame Wind Ancestor and the Thunder Ancestor are only slightly stronger than the threshold. In the Darkness Sacred World, there are many more resources than the Nine Rivers Sacred World. Luo Feng is far away from the so-called threshold of the Darkness Sacred World. Generally, those who have attained enlightenment have to be in the late-stage God Emperor to hope to enter. Whether it is the Nine Rivers Sacred World, the Darkness Sacred World, or some other places, it is Senior Yuan and his people who have cultivate weaklings like us. Luo Feng also understood this. Without the Star Tower and the Eye of Life and Death, my strength is still too weak. Luo Feng opened the Eye of Life and Death between his eyebrows and looked far away in the direction of the dream realm. Except for the infinite space that is not in the origin continent, Luo Feng can spy on other treasures. But under the observation of the Eye of Life and Death, it quickly passed through layers of space obstacles and saw the dark area at the core layer. The dark area was originally only visible to the mind consciousness. But the Eye of Life and Death can see it clearly. The dark area, there is only one space. Luo Feng looked at it. The entire dream realm is like a huge sphere, with countless bubbles inside, and each bubble is an independent space. The outermost dream realm has the most amount of spaces, the middle layer has much fewer amount of spaces, and the deep layer has even fewer amount of spaces. The core, dark area, has only one space. This space is extremely stable. The ground is made of black metal and engraved with secret patterns. The trees are entangled and grown by countless metals. The river was even more like a gathering of streams of light. The weakest creatures here were at the level of emperors and monarchs. The powerful ones even touched the upper limit of the power of the origin continent. Some of the conflicts between them made Luo Feng change color. Even I can't bring the Eye of Life and Death and the Star Tower into the dark area. Luo Feng understood this. Although the strongest dream creatures in the dark area are at the upper limit of power. But in some areas, there are too many dream creatures. Under the observation of the Eye of Life and Death, it can be seen that in one area, there are hundreds of snake-like creatures gathered. Each snake-like creature is playing with each other, and the movement can touch the upper limit of the power of the origin continent. Hundreds of snake-like creatures besieging over, it's like hundreds of Emperor Qing besieging. Luo Feng secretly said, even if I hide inside the Star Tower, I'll be completely trapped and will never be able to escape. The power of the Star Tower is also limited. One person fights hundreds? How could one fight? It's useless even if the Flame Wind Ancestor and the Thunder Ancestor come. There are quite a lot of special life form remains. Luo Feng's Eye of Life and Death observed him and saw countless densely packed ones scattered everywhere. Or in the depths of the river, there are hundreds of thousands of them, a bone, a scale, a muscle. There are also some hidden in the depths of the mountains. There is only one thing in common, they all need to explore a long distance in the dark area. My Eye of Life and Death can only see the appearance of these special life form remains, and cannot peek into their inner parts. Luo Feng frowned, I'm having trouble determining their exact value. Using the Eye of Life and Death, he may be able to match the observation ability of an ordinary high-level chaotic origin life form. but it is impossible to see through the inner parts of the special life form remains at a glance. I can only take one. After getting one, I will be expelled and will never be able to enter. Luo Feng thought. His eye of life and death observed carefully. Rivers, mountains, underground, jungles, various corpse materials were compared one by one. This one looks unusual. Luo Feng finally stared at a piece of material. It was a dark golden horn. This dark golden horn was in the depths of the underground maze, where hundreds of centipede-like creatures were coiled around it, seemingly worshipping it. My eye of life and death looks at the entire dark area of the dream realm. This is the only sharp horn material. And the creatures guarding it are also quite powerful. Luo Feng thought, that's it. An extremely terrifying being with a long horn, or a unicorn horn. This unicorn horn must have a great use. Let's take a look at the heavenly pillar realm. Luo Feng turned his head and used the eye of life and death to carefully observe the entire heavenly pillar realm. In the depths of the heavenly pillar realm, the most conspicuous thing was a winding and dirty blood river. This dirty blood river would kill a second-level God King immediately if it was contaminated, and even the clones in the outside world would be contaminated by the soul and die. There were also huge bone mountains with countless gaps in them, like a maze. There were also a large number of lush plants which grew by the dirty blood river and in the bone mountains, taking root deep underground. Dream realm, I can see it clearly at a glance. On the contrary, in the heavenly pillar realm, about 1 or 2% of the area is not visible. I can't see clearly within the polluted blood river. The bone mountain can only see the surface, the deepest part of it is not visible, and the deepest part of the ground is not visible either. Luo Feng shook his head gently. Polluted blood river, it should be formed by the blood pollution of world-class chaotic origin life form. Luo Feng was somewhat certain. The polluted blood that even his eye of life and death could not see through was definitely not the blood of the being in the cage. It said that within the polluted blood river, within the bone mountain, and the deep underground are all prone to breed innate secret treasures. Luo Feng smiled. There was something very strange. Whether it was the dream realm or the heavenly pillar realm, Luo Feng had not seen any natural secret treasures. The innate secret treasures seemed to be hidden very tightly. As for the special life form remains, Luo Feng looked at the heavenly pillar realm. There are debris everywhere, the entire polluted blood river is remains, and those bone mountains, every mountain is remains. Luo Feng realized this, but he had no ability to take it away. Just by taking a look at it, Luo Feng knew how heavy they were and how terrifying the pressure was. This is it. Luo Feng carefully looked at the vast amount of debris in the depths of the heavenly pillar realm and finally chose one. According to the observation of the Eye of Life and Death, there were a total of 389 bone mountains. In the bone mountain in the center, there was a long black bone, which was divided into 9 sections. I should be able to take one of these 9 black bones. Luo Feng thought. Although the heavenly pillar realm was guarded by the royal families of the 2 kingdoms, they did not dare to obstruct the Milky Way Kingdom Lord. Luo Feng sent out a powerful doppelganger who had God Emperor-level strength with his physical body alone, and walked hard into the depths of the Bone Mountain range. Although the pressure was getting stronger and stronger, it was still limited to the upper limit of the origin continent. Luo Feng walked to the core and walked into the depths of the Bone Mountain, looking at the towering 9 black bones. The 9 black bones had a terrifying aura. As soon as Luo Feng touched them, an invisible message was transmitted that he could only take one, and once he took it away, he would not be able to take any other special life form remains. Buzz. When Luo Feng moved it, he felt it was extremely heavy, and then he put it into the God Emperor level secret treasure water drop flying boat that he carried with him. The special life form remains of the heavenly pillar realm were relatively easy to obtain with Luo Feng's strength. But the dark golden horn in the dream realm was very difficult. Luo Feng tried hundreds of times and failed every time. Fortunately, his clone's life force was strong enough to try hundreds of times and the energy loss wasn't too great. Even with the remote assistance of the Eye of Life and Death, I still failed. Luo Feng could only temporarily put it aside for more than 200 epochs. Luo Feng relied on the 3-9 branch fusion secret methods of the Great Tao of Life and Death, and multiple clones went together, and the Eye of Life and Death observed and assisted remotely. By adjusting the tiger to the mountain and by desperately trying to hold it back, he finally got that one dark golden pointed horn. Since then, the most important treasures that the God Emperors in the origin continent can usually get, the 2 pieces of special life form remains, have been obtained. These 2 treasures are indeed extraordinary. Luo Feng observed with the Eye of Life and Death. The unicorn horn, a section of black bone itself, contains endless mysteries. Although it is inferior to the Eye of Life and Death, it is also at the same level, and is simpler and purer. Unicorn horn, it even contains the mysteries of spiritual will. Luo Feng was a little amazed. The secret pattern in the unicorn horn, the spiritual will, actually dominated. This section of black bone has the secret of being indestructible. Luo Feng spied on the composition of the black bone. How could the growth of being be so indestructible? Luo Feng was immersed in cultivation, and the origin continent also returned to peace. Under the joint orders of the Milky Way Kingdom Lord, the Flame Wind Ancestor, and the Thunder Ancestor, the big sinners of the entire origin continent had no soil to survive. Even if there were lucky ones who carefully and secretly devoured some tribes to assist their own cultivation, they were still terrified because a group of inspectors led by Morosa could find them at any time. Unknowingly, about 500 epochs had passed since the gambling battle between Luo Feng and the Thunder Ancestor. In the Flame Wind Ancient Kingdom, in a vast space, 11 thoughts gathered and turned into the figures of 11 emperors. It has been 1,000 epochs since the guest official Luo He guarding the Heavenly Pillar Realm. Emperor Yang said, it's time for him to leave. The task of guarding the Heavenly Pillar Realm. No guest official can accept it continuously. The guarding of Heavenly Pillar Realm is a good task that all the guest officials dream of. Emperor Yang and his men usually use it to reward some obedient guest officials. Emperor Yang and his men are naturally dissatisfied that Luo He has occupied it for thousands of epochs. A guest official who doesn't know how to honor or disrespect, letting him to be the guard for thousands of epochs. Emperor Wu's face was cold. She had personally threatened Luo He and forced him to take another task. In the end, Emperor Chu protected her own disciple. Luo He and her had a blood feud, so she was naturally hostile to Luo He. Since it's due, it is natural to replace him. Emperor Chu glanced at Emperor Wu and said indifferently. The origin continent was entering its final stage, and it was estimated that there were still billions of epochs left before it would return to extinction. These emperors and monarchs could not comprehend the complete Tao, and were required to leave the origin continent before the extinction. They are now more naked in order to compete for resources. Only Luo Feng promoted the rule of, those who commit great sins, must die, otherwise, the god kings on the origin continent who cultivated the chaotic origin bloodline were afraid that there would be more and more of them devouring hundreds of millions of living beings in order to not fall into extinction along with the origin continent. Luo He's term of office for the Heavenly Pillar Realm guarding mission has ended. The current ruling Emperor Fu smiled. Naturally, we have to choose a new guest official. You can tell me who you want to recommend. Emperor Fu was able to make direct appointments, but there was a limit to the number of times Emperor Fu could force an appointment for a good mission of the royal family. This time, the Emperor Fu obviously took out the Heavenly Pillar Realm mission and let other regions compete for it. In the end, this mission fell into the hands of Emperor Yang and the others. The 3 of them, Emperor Yang, Emperor Shi, and Emperor Wu, joined forces. Considering that Emperor Yuan is dead and Emperor Qing is not involved, in the current ruling Emperor Fu, who was not involved in the competition, Emperor Yang and their small group was the most competitive. Emperor Kong, Emperor Xian, Emperor Jiufeng, Emperor Wu, Emperor Yu, Emperor Ming, and Emperor Chu are all somewhat independent. The next mission is to guard the treasure land Heaven and Earth Labyrinth. Emperor Fu continued, confirming one mission after another. The next mission is to guard the Fire Prison World. The Fire Prison World has cultivated many kinds of chaotic origin bloodline creature of the second-level God King, strength. Who take on the role of guards must be at least in the second-level God King. Emperor Fu said, is there anyone who wants this mission? I will take the mission to guard the Fire Prison World. Emperor Chu said. The one from your Emperor Chu lineage who is suitable for this task is Luo He, right? Emperor Yang frowned and said, just now he was asked to guard the Heavenly Pillar realm, and now he is going to the fire prison world. All the good things are given to him. My royal family has to have rules to control these guest officials. They must make enough contributions and hard work before they can be given proper benefits. Emperor Chu was puzzled. Isn't guarding the fire prison world a hard job? This Luo He cultivates the path of life, and everyone knows it. The method of cultivating chaotic origin bloodline creatures in the fire prison world contains many mysteries of life. How can he easily spy on it? Emperor Yang said. The Flame Wind Ancestors' cultivation of chaotic origin bloodline creatures could only stably cultivate chaotic origin bloodline creatures with the strength of the second-level God King, and occasionally some ultimate realm chaotic origin bloodline creatures would appear. I will take this mission. Emperor Wu also said, I am going to personally guard the fire prison world and study the mysteries of life. He cultivated the path of life, but he never realized the great Tao. After Emperor Wu said this, all parties could only retreat. When competing for tasks, they would definitely give priority to the emperors. After a while, all the tasks were assigned and the emperors left one by one. Emperor Yang. Emperor Fu left Emperor Yang. What's the matter? Emperor Yang looked at his old friend. Emperor Yang, you are targeting Luo He so much. I believe Emperor Chu will also tell his disciples. Emperor Fu said, you have a grudge with Luo He. Emperor Yang said calmly, we have a grudge a long time ago. The three emperors are in a group, and their relationship with Emperor Chu is bad, and Luo He has been implicated for a long time. And the resources of the entire origin continent are limited. Emperor Yang said calmly, Luo He's talent is too high. If we don't suppress him, he will rush even more fiercely. He will take away the resources that should belong to us. In the beginning, you just couldn't tolerate Zhongfu. Emperor Fu shook his head gently. You can't tolerate Luo He now either. We are going to venture outside the origin world, and we have to be open-minded. Emperor Yang's eyes were cold. To improve our own strength, we must also suppress these powerful opponents. If you do this, I'm afraid there will be a cause and effect backlash. Emperor Fu reminded. Since I'm going to fight, I'm still afraid of backlash? Emperor Yang sneered and left immediately. Emperor Fu didn't say anything more. Based on the detailed observation of these 500 epochs, I'm almost certain that Luo He is the Milky Way Kingdom Lord. Emperor Fu sighed secretly. Emperor Yang, your methods are cruel, but this time you hit a wall. Emperor Yang and his men made a move again and again. Zhongfu God King, Guishu God King and other God Kings, some of them were destroyed with their entire tribes. Some of them survived by chance. Why did the Zhongfu God King and the Guishu God King always have murderous intent? It was because their relatives were gone. Luo Feng rose too fast and there was no conspicuous secret treasure to show, so Emperor Yang and the other three did not take action. Heavenly Pillar Realm. In front of a towering pillar, Luo Feng stood there and watched carefully. His observation was multifaceted. On the one hand, the eye of life and death observed from a distance, on the other hand, the spiritual consciousness penetrated and felt, and on the other hand, the perspective of life in an ordinary cage. Observation from multiple angles, reflecting each other. Boom tilde tilde tilde. Luo Feng's eye of life and death saw a raging and surging black river. This black river was too turbulent and swept everything wantonly. These are some of the mysteries of life in the chaotic origin dimension, which are much deeper and vast than the great Tao of life in the supreme rules. Luo Feng studied. The great Tao of life of the supreme rules contains the mysteries of all life in the origin continent. But what about the wider space? The origin worlds in the chaotic origin dimension are countless, and there are even more billions of worlds, as well as a large number of innate chaotic origin life forms, and there are more mysterious unknowns. The mystery of life in chaotic origin dimension could be much, much more profound than the mysteries of life within the origin continent. 36 heavenly pillars, 9 great Taos, each with 4 heavenly pillars and 4 different directions. Luo Feng thought, Senior Yuan and the others are really well-intentioned. These heavenly pillars are a lamp lit up when groping in the darkness, illuminating the direction. For every great Tao, there were 4 directions that could be glimpsed in the heavenly pillar realm, all of which were directions after jumping out of the cage. Brother Luohi, I am here to hand over the task of guarding the heavenly pillar realm. An old man in a grey robe came to one of the entrances to the heavenly pillar realm and met one of Luo Feng's guarding clones. The mission deadline of 1,000 epochs has expired, and it is time to hand it over. Follow me to see Emperor Xian first. Luo Feng said. For him, it didn't matter whether he was responsible for guarding the heavenly pillar realm. With his Milky Way Kingdom Lord status, he was able to attend to those 36 heavenly pillars within the heavenly pillar realm as he pleased. Okay. The grey-robed old man and Luo Feng went to see Emperor Xian first, and then the formal handover took place. Luo Feng also completed a mission. Since then, Luo Feng has only one mission left to perform in the Flame-Wind Ancient Kingdom, guarding the Xiangjie city. The conflict between Luo Feng and Yang Su caused Luo Feng to be punished to guard Xiangjie city for a full 10,000 epochs. Now it is still a long way from the end of the term. Today, there are 5 continuous mountain ranges standing around Huyang city. The 5 continuous mountain ranges are like a huge formation, completely protecting Huyang city. If a powerful person can peek into the underground appearance of the 5 continuous mountain ranges, he will find that the underground foundation of the 5 mountains is even larger, and eventually connected into a huge hole, like a huge claw. The innate secret treasure, the world in the palm. During the past 500 epochs, even though Luo Feng was strong enough and had the eye of life and death to observe, he could only obtain one innate secret treasure in the deep area of the dream realm. This natural secret treasure is a furry little claw, which naturally contains endless mysteries of secret patterns. Once activated, a world will naturally form in the palm of the claw. Luo Feng named it the world in the palm. After Luo Feng refined and mastered it, he placed the little claw in the Huyang city area. The 5 continuous mountains that appeared outside the surface were just the tip of the iceberg. There are only a few people on the origin continent who can peek into the magic of innate secret treasures. Luo Feng thought, perhaps through this, they can also guess that I am the Milky Way Kingdom Lord. Luo Feng didn't care whether he would be exposed or not. Originally, Luo Feng planned to buy a cave-type formation secret treasure from Emperor Qing to protect Huyang City and Blade River Sect headquarters. But this innate secret treasure is indeed more suitable. Luo Feng only activated part of the power to make this natural secret treasure easily reach the power of the origin continent. The dream realm is indeed magical. It can naturally breed secret treasures. Relatively speaking, life in the origin continent is much simpler. Luo Feng was walking in a wilderness. He looked at the surrounding flowers, plants and trees, and at the foreign beasts in the distance. He saw through these flowers, plants and trees at a glance. The source of the life force of the foreign beasts, I'm afraid that the other side are the source of energy of all realms originating from the origin continent in being absorbed by all sorts of living beings, and the living beings are growing. What is cultivation? Cultivation was finding ways to absorb more energy, causing one's life form to evolve. The more powerful the life form became in compliance with the supreme rules in operation. As Luo Feng walked, the surrounding trees and flowers grew rapidly, and the big trees grew rapidly. While climbing hundreds of millions of kilometers, tens of billions of kilometers, and trillions of kilometers, these towering trees began to appear in the form of consciousness. They began to think, and began to comprehend the world. Flowers and plants were also growing, either taking root in the earth or penetrating the void. The foreign beasts in the distance are also transforming, the void true God level, the eternal true God level. Chaos level, God King level, one by one, the foreign beasts just transformed directly to the God King level, but their consciousness was too weak, their intelligence was too low, they were unable to control such a huge physical body. It eventually exploded with a bang. I can enlighten them, but the premise is that their spiritual will are strong enough to control such a body. Luo Feng shook his head gently. Under my guidance, one can naturally evolve a peak level of second-level God King, physical body, but it is difficult for a monster to find such a strong spiritual will. Master. The towering tree condensed into the figure of an old man and saluted respectfully. A plant rooted in the ground also turned into a woman and saluted respectfully. There was also a flying beast that condensed into the appearance of a young man and saluted respectfully. The three of them all possessed the strength of the chaos realm. Of course, they were all enlightened by external forces. It is not easy to enlighten a God-King level being. Luo Feng smiled. The great Tao of life, the mysteries are endless. While collectively enlightening many lives, Luo Feng still thoroughly understood the great Tao of life. The great Tao of life operates within the supreme rules, and there is no longer a trace of confusion. How does life come? How is it formed? How does it grow? How does it evolve? All mysteries reside in the heart. This video will end here.